Hi, welcome to Above Deck, a below deck breakdown podcast. I'm Sarah Goldman, a photographer and former marine biologist living in Charleston, South Carolina. With me, as always, is my college roommate and co-host, Kelly.
I'm Kelly Busby, an executive assistant and former radio host, coming to you from my home studio in Columbus, Ohio. Together, Sarah and I hosted the Socks with Sandals radio show on WFAL in Bowling Green, Ohio. And we are back again this week to discuss Below Deck and our love of all things Bravo. Today, we'll be discussing Below Deck Down Under Season 3, Episode 16, Come Swell or High Water.
Here's your recap. Bree and Harry attempt to define their relationship. The final charter guests have trouble keeping their food down during swelly weather. On the beach excursion, the deck team makes the biggest mistake of the season. Be sure to tune in to the end of this episode because we have a special guest joining us for Yachties. Where are they now? Kelly, how many shackles did you give this episode?
I gave it 8. It was a good episode. There
Hmm.
was a lot of stuff going on, but a lot of things kind of wrapped together. So
Yeah,
I
I
thought it was good.
figured you would be feeling happy about Tzarina and Lara kind of
Yes. A lot
reconnecting.
more at ease with them now.
Yeah, anxiety was lessened for sure.
Yes. Yes.
Laura says Captain Jason never tells her she does a great job, and then cue the producers inserting three clips of him complimenting her on a job well done.
So many emotions right now though. Like, and I hate that feeling because there's just so much going on and you're drained of all energy and hope at this point, and
Hmm.
you just want somebody to tell you it's going to be okay.
Yeah,
And Bree tried to do that.
yeah. She said in her stories this week, she did a lot of stories on Instagram.
Yeah.
She said she doesn't know why she can't remember, but it's like when you're feeling down in the dumps, it's like you're just
Ugh,
focused on the bad stuff. You can't remember like the good things that are happening.
right. Right.
Serena was on the phone with her mom. This was heartbreaking to me. Most of us have had a moment or two where we felt like we are on the outside, not invited to hang out with the cool kids. But we've also known the kids that are always in that situation, like the
Yeah.
weird kid that's never invited to sit at the lunch table. Um,
Yeah.
I can imagine that would be very difficult to always have felt that way.
Oh yeah. I mean, and that whole situation in and of itself is heartbreaking, but
Hmm.
being one of those kids just truly sucks.
Yeah,
So it does, I could see where that's all coming up again.
absolutely. And kids suck in general. They're just
It
so mean.
suck.
They're just Yeah. And it's hard for kids, it's elementary, middle school, whatever, to do the right thing and like be nice
Right.
to those people because they don't want to stick out and be a target either. So
Right.
it's
Right.
just hard. All of it's hard.
Yeah.
Jason has a beer with the crew after the day of like turning the boat around. This is my kind of night. Just like chill out, have a beer.
I want to go hot tubbing with Captain Jason, Lucky Ducks, like all of them
Yes.
just sitting there chilling, getting
Hmm.
their suntan on.
So what did you think of Jason and Laura's talk that they had?
So I thought it was good. The way he approached it by pulling her aside and then saying, I know you want to say something. I feel like
Hmm.
that allowed her to break down her wall a little bit and talk to him.
Yeah.
And she does tell him about the Tzarina conversation and how they didn't come to an agreement. And
Hmm.
Dreamboat says, did you say that you were sorry? And she said no, because they didn't get to a decision. And I'm guessing about who should say sorry first. I think that's
Yeah.
what, um, so he tells her she's doing a really great job and she should try and let it go. And then he gives her a super big hug. So that was good.
Yeah. He's great. I love him. I love
Yeah,
him. There's not much that a pep talk from Captain Dreamboat won't fix. And
it's a
hug.
very good point. I would love a little Captain Dreamboat pep talk every once in a while. Like I kind of want it like a recording in my phone. So like when things are lit, then I can listen to it and be like, okay, I'm good. Like
You're
so
good enough.
again,
You're smart
you're
enough.
smart enough.
Gosh darn it. People like you. And I
Yes.
love you.
Stuart Smalley, let's go.
Yes. When Zarina walks into their room, the tension is diffused. I think because of the Captain Dreamboat talk and
Yeah.
also the conversation that Zarina had with her mom.
Hmm.
They've just laid down their weapons at this point, it
Yeah.
seems. I
Yeah.
did notice, however, that Laura said, I'm sorry if I upset you.
Oh dear.
Very Housewives of her. But it goes well. They hug it out. Like, thank goodness. Let's just keep this vibe going. One more charter.
Both of these women are amazing and they are stubbornly strong in all aspects of who they are. And that allows them to be their own worst enemy to to
Hmm.
others, but also to themselves. So,
Hmm.
I mean, they're both absolutely amazing, talented women, but
Yeah.
very stubborn.
Good at their job, but
Very good, but very
very stubborn.
stubborn.
Okay, the dinner out. It's time for another round of boys' bathroom chat. That was fun.
Yes,
Tzarina
love
takes
it.
that opportunity to ask Alicia what she's doing because she's flirting with Nate after she just told Tzarina like she's not into him. So, does she like him or not? I think Tzarina is right. She's not really into him, but she likes the attention.
Totally agree. And Nate is talking like numbers for kids, for dogs, the white picket fence, and about
Hmm.
having a daily recap by the campfire every night. She needs to be kind and let him know that she's not in this 100%.
Yeah, I gotta say, all of that sounded incredible. I was
I
like,
know.
I'm in, Nate. Like, let's do this thing. So Harry has the boyfriend girlfriend talk with Bree, and they decide on being exclusive partners. And
Okay.
Bree says this is the warm up to being boyfriend girlfriend.
Sarah, I want you to know that you are my exclusive podcast partner. It's the same
Mm,
thing, right?
I think
But
so.
I feel like we're in a marriage though. Like I feel
Yeah, I
like
think
this
we're
is
more committed than Bree and Harry for sure.
yeah, that's a good point. I mean, we've
Yeah.
been in this for a while.
Yeah. I'd say the first few months we were exclusive podcast partners, and now
Yeah.
we're in a podcast marriage.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Yeah.
Sure.
I enjoy now how when people are up on deck and they're having a chat about their boatmance,
Hmm.
everyone else runs downstairs to the crew galley, the crew mess, and they're watching it. And
Yeah.
they this time I loved it because they were adding their own lip reading. It was kind of like bad lip reading.
Yeah.
But the cheers for the kiss were like top notch. It was just fun. I just love it.
Yeah, so cute. I love that they're watching relationship TV. So good.
Yeah.
I felt bad for Nate during the Alicia talk. I'm sure he thought like, "Ooh, we're gonna have our little cuddle." But
Yeah.
I'm glad that she was honest with him though.
Yeah, it did break my heart for him. But her honesty is just going to be so much better for them and their friendship. And maybe down the road, they could come back. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, he's hoping to maybe play the long game the next day. Do you think that the producers showed Alicia farting on camera as punishment for breaking things off with Nate in the last scene?
Oh my gosh, I didn't until now.
I mean, they never show one of the girls farting, so I thought that was a little baby punishment. Lara had a sexy underwater dream about Captain Dreamboat. Do you want to analyze her dream for her?
Sarah, I thought you would never ask. Thank you. So let's do a quick recap of the
Okay.
dream. She says she's with Jason. They are underwater. They saved a bunch of children together. She said that they were also talking about how clear their eyes are, the children's eyes are. And
Uh-huh.
then they hook up.
Mm.
Okay. So according to my favorite website, dreamdictionary.org, hooking up with your boss, that means that you might be connected on a deeper level or share similar connection. You admire their attributes. Now remember, this was the evening after she had that chat with him.
Hmm.
So, you know, this is it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Dreaming of eyes, especially clear eyes, is very symbolic of connecting to our soul.
Mm.
And, like I said, I would have to say after their chat that day, he gave her some clarity into her life.
Hmm.
So, there's some stuff there.
Okay.
I could not find anything specific about swimming underwater, but I did find that whenever water emerges in our dreams, it reflects our emotions. So if they were underwater in the sea, it can be a reflection of repressed desires and instincts.
That's hot.
So again, I would say that her chat with Captain Dreamboat went pretty well and it meant a lot to her.
Yeah.
So, um, I loved that part of it. And then I really loved afterwards, Laura's telling Tzarina about her dream. And Tzarina says, well, that's every night for me.
I like how she said, I can't believe this. I've been working with him for 2 years and you just swoop in here. And anyway, I thought that was really cute. What did you
Uh,
think she meant by the clear eyes? I took it to mean that like they both had pretty blue eyes and their children would have blue eyes. If
mm, yeah, I would do that. Or that it was a clear moment. She could see
yeah,
clearly.
okay.
Um, but yeah, I mean, if they had little babies, they would have pretty blue eyes.
They'd be beautiful.
Yeah,
Okay, well, thank you for
so
doing
cute.
that hard-hitting research. Okay, final preference sheet meeting. We have Wynn and Lori from Carlsbad, California. They want to do a tasting menu of the Seychelles, a pirate treasure hunt on the beach. And Jason mentions, like, we got to be careful of the tides when we do the beach thing.
And so before they finish the preference sheet meeting, Captain Dreamboat looks at Laura and says, "You okay?" I would die. Because she's
He's
like,
like, I'm
uh-huh.
fine. Move it along. He's like, that was some dream.
Ah.
So, the tender won't start. It's the motor. And so they have to end up renting a tender for this charter. They have another tender, but with this beach setup, Jason wants to make sure they have two boats to be running all this stuff and guests back and forth.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
I love when the guests arrive and they're like, say what? Seychelles. I love them already.
They're going to be so much fun. And what a great idea. I want to have a pirate treasure hunt on the beach. So that's definitely going on my preference sheet.
So fun. Yeah,
Yeah, I have to
it's
work on
great.
that.
Overheard from the guests. Thanks for inviting us. Thanks, Katie. Sorry your divorce happened.
These guys, I love them. So the primary asked Laura for a drink called a Russian cocaine mix.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, what is in that? I'm so glad you asked. So here we go. It's a
Oh,
shot of vodka, not chilled, just straight into a shot glass.
okay.
And then you take a lemon wheel, which is just a slice of
Hmm.
lemon. You put sugar on one side, you put coffee grounds on the other side.
Oh
You
gosh.
eat the lemon and then you take the shot. It sounds horrible.
Oh, lemon and coffee.
Yeah. So Sarah, I include where it says Bing videos in our
Hmm.
notes there. That's the link to the tipsy bartender to make it. Um,
Okay.
it sounds horrible, but I'm kind of curious now.
Oh, did you want me to click the link right now?
No, you don't have to.
Oh,
But if
okay.
you wanted to put it in the show notes,
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Cool.
but it's like I've watched two or three different videos and I'm like, I just
Yucko. I did not
sugar.
realize he was talking about a drink. I thought he was just kind of making a joke like, hey, we'd love a drink and some cocaine. Like, let's get
Well,
this
I
party
was I
going.
was afraid that's where we were, so I
Yeah.
just did a little Google search, which you have
Well,
to be very
thank you for
careful.
that.
You have to be very careful when you search Russian cocaine. Like you had to put drink after it because
You've been flagged by
I
Google or by Bing.
for
Okay.
that and other things, I'm sure.
Yes. The guests enjoyed lunch until they start feeling seasick, and then it's water sports time. If you can't take the swell, I guess you should get in the water, I guess.
I don't know. I guess maybe it's not as maybe because you have control over it, it's not
Yeah, I
just a
know being
boat
down
rocking.
like lower is better. I
Yeah.
mean, definitely with scuba diving, like if I'm feeling seasick on a boat, I'm like, I just got to get in the water and get under because, the swell's at the surface. It's not underwater.
Yeah.
So
Um, I was impressed when one of the guests asked about the stabilizers,
I
and
think
we all
they
learned what
do
the
a lot of
stabilizers were.
yachting.
Yeah, they seem very like a fun group, but kind of know how it goes on
Yeah,
the
because
boats.
when they
So
put up their little Chiron, it said travel over 450,000 miles a year or something like that. So I'm
that's
like, oh,
insane.
these are like yacht people. Plus, he's the CEO of some big headphone company. So,
Yeah,
I
I was
mean,
looking at their stuff. Good
hmm.
stuff.
Well, they not only would he be a good friend to have for that reason, but they
Yeah.
seem nice, like genuinely nice people and fun. So,
Yes,
anyway.
I'm down for
Okay,
that.
so dinner tonight is the Seychelles tasting menu. Unfortunately, the food is coming back up for poor Trevor. And oh, good, the next course is curry.
Thank you very much for that heads up. I was kind of bracing for it the
Hmm.
entire until we got there. I noticed a couple of the ladies wearing the lovely gray sweatband nausea motion sick bracelet while they were eating
Hmm.
dinner, and it went very well with their ensembles.
Do you think that those work? Have you heard
I
anything
have no
about
idea.
those?
My brother used to wear them.
Okay.
I think my mom has worn them before. I don't know if it's just because it's a pressure point and it takes your focus off of something else.
Mm. Oh, yeah, I do know what those are. I have tried like the scopolamine patches that you put behind your ear, but whenever I'm on boats, I'm getting wet. I'm working, I'm sweating, so like they
Yeah.
always slide off. Also,
Yeah.
people can go crazy on those scopolamine patches, like jump overboard or like do something weird.
Well,
So it's
I
a little bit
had one
scary.
of those once, and I
Yeah?
can understand why, because
Did you
I
feel
could
weird?
not, like, my pupil in this eye was this big. And I was like, I
What?
can't see anything. Like it took it like 3 or 4 days for my pupil to come down.
Oh my gosh,
But
that's
I mean
scary.
it was great for what it was for, but my God.
We should Google like scary scopolamine patch stories. There's probably some really weird stories. Um, I always just took Dramamine or Bonine but it makes
Yeah.
you so tired, even the less drowsy one. So
Yeah.
like unless I was like moving around and doing stuff, if I sat down, I was like, I'd be asleep. So anyway, okay. So I feel bad for Tzarina. She prepared this gorgeous meal and they just can't enjoy it.
At least she knows it's not because of the food, but because Mother Nature is just being a rude person.
Yeah, that was
I didn't want
terrible.
to say the B word, but
Tzarina thanks Jason for having a chat with Lara, and he like kind of gives her like a handshake or a fist bump or something, and then pulls her in for a hug. Didn't you think that she thought he was gonna kiss her?
Yeah.
She was like,
Like a cheek, like a, European
and
cheek
then there's
kiss or
kind
something.
of an awkward laugh, but I thought that was so funny. It reminded me of the first season. Was it the first season of Down Under with Culver and Bertini? How he was leaning in to talk to her and she like went in for the
Yes. Oh my
kiss.
God,
So funny.
Bertini. Love you,
Oh,
girl.
so
I
good.
think though that Zarina would have been okay if it was a kiss.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't? Okay, the next day. The rocking last night kept a lot of people from sleeping, including Captain Jason. He was like up at 3 in the morning. That was terrible.
I can't imagine. Did you ever experience that when you were on the research boat?
They were anchored, and I think when you're anchored, it's worse when you have a swell
Yeah.
like that. Usually we were moving,
Okay.
so at least the captain could like drive in like the best direction. But
Yeah.
definitely there were times when like maybe the wind was going one way, but the waves were going the other way, and so it was like just like mixed up seas, and that
Yeah.
makes it really hard to
Ugh.
when you have like just like your normal kind of
Yeah.
thing, it's easy to get lulled to sleep. But yeah, when it's all mixed up like that, that's
Ugh.
not comfortable. So,
Yeah.
okay. So I felt for Laura not being able to communicate with the galley, to have to
Yeah.
climb all those steps just to find out that they didn't have a radio down there in the galley. That was annoying.
Yeah. No, thank you. Like, I no. And I'm sad that we didn't ask this to Laura when we chatted with her, but I wonder
Hmm.
how many flights of stairs they did during the charter season.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't even imagine. They had to have amazing legs and butts afterwards.
for sure.
Yeah. Oh, so as we're going on, the camera bag, there was a camera in the M&M bags this week, and I
Oh,
absolutely loved it. And he went in for it. Those poor peanut M&Ms, they don't stand a chance.
no.
His little face and hands coming in. I hope he realizes that he's going to get so many M&Ms at BravoCon.
Yes, but did you see in the BravoCon rules on the website, it says absolutely no gifts, like you can't give anybody anything. So I'm sure it probably got a little out of hand last
Oh, I'm
time.
sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure of it.
So, um,
Yeah.
we have the beach treasure hunt time, and
Yeah.
I really liked when Jason said "Shiver me timbers," but he can't really remember what the catchphrase is. So I Googled "Shiver me timbers." Obviously,
Oh,
I know
good.
pirates say it in movies and TV shows. So
Right.
it's an exclamation in the form of a mock oath, usually attributed to the speech of pirates in works of fiction.
Okay.
Timbers, which are the wooden support frames of a sailing ship, and in heavy seas, ships would be lifted up and pounded so hard that the timbers would shiver, startling the sailors. So, such an exclamation was meant to convey a feeling of fear and awe, kind of like when the stabilizers don't work on the motor yacht. Shiver me timbers. So now you know.
I love it. Thank you for doing that research.
Absolutely. Nate gets to the beach setup to pick up some of the crew, and he's nervous about how shallow it is, and the boat gets stuck in shallow water. Everyone's trying to push it off the sand, and it is not budging. This is a very scary feeling. I've had it many, many times in my work
Oh,
life.
you have?
Yes. And so I've never been stranded though, and it looks like it's going to be high and dry,
Yeah.
according to the preview for next week. And that's
Yeah.
where the episode ends. And next week is the finale.
It's the finale, and next week's episode looks on fire.
It looks good. Some of the cast members have alluded to like the last episode being shocking, exciting. Like I think something big is going to happen.
Oh my gosh.
I
I hope
can't even
everybody is safe.
imagine. Yeah.
I just hope everyone's safe. So let's take a break. We'll come back with Yachties. Where are they now? And Hot Tub Combo.
We are sponsored by BetterHelp. Let's talk numbers. Traditional in-person therapy can cost up to $250 per session. That really adds up fast. But with BetterHelp, online therapy can save on average up to 50% per session. With BetterHelp, you pay a flat fee for weekly sessions, and that saves you big time on cost and time. Therapy should feel accessible, not like a luxury.
Online therapy can help you with anything from anxiety to everyday stress. Your mental health is worth it, and now it's within reach. Seeking therapy is actually a sign of strength. It takes courage to acknowledge when you need help, and it's time to take steps to improve your mental health.
BetterHelp is also super convenient. You can join a session with just the click of a button, and this makes it super easy to fit into your busy life. If your first therapist doesn't feel like the right fit, no worries. You can switch to another one until you find someone you really connect with.
Your well-being is worth it. Visit betterhelp.com/above deck today to get 10% off your first month. That's better, HELP.com/above deck.
It's time for our segment Yachties, Where Are They Now? Today we are talking to Shane Coopersmith, otherwise known as Sustainable Shane. Here's a quick reminder about season 8 of Below Deck and Shane. The boat was My Sienna. They were in Antigua that season. Eddie had returned as bosun after 5 years away. It was Rachel's first season as chef. Francesca was the chief stew. And Shane was the green deckhand from San Diego, who Eddie called Sunshine for taking a nap when he was tired. He was in the first 7 episodes and was later fired by Captain Lee for not being up to par and learning fast enough on the job. Please enjoy this chat with Shane Coopersmith. Hey, Shane.
Greetings.
How are you?
Life's good. Yourself?
Good. Kelly isn't able to join us, so it's just me. Yeah. So you're in California still?
Yep. Still in California. I'm in San Diego.
Okay. I just took a little trip down memory lane. I watched several of the episodes that you were on because it's been a while. How many years has it been since you filmed?
It was in 2020, so it's 5 years.
Yeah, it's been a good
Oh,
while.
okay. Yeah, I'm giving you the follow back. Might be.
Sweet. So this segment that we're doing on the podcast is called Yachties, Where Are They Now? So briefly tell us what you've been up to since that season.
Okay. Sorry, my brain. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
I'm on your Instagram right now, and I see you
Oh,
posted
okay.
about me. We were talking to Sustainable Shane season 8 tomorrow. Got a question. Drop it below. Okay. What advice would you give to new deck even though starting to learn? You took quite a gamble. Was it worth it? Ask me if he's come out with a line of straws yet. It's funny. Okay, cool. I like the video. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Now you got my attention.
Okay. So tell us what you've been up to since that season.
What have I been up to since Below Deck season 8?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I could sum it up in 30 seconds, but I'm gonna do my best. I
Couple
would
minutes.
say, yeah, I would say what have I been up to? Well, I've been in and out of a couple good productive relationships with a couple women, so that was
Mm-hmm.
great. I've had a couple different jobs. I've become a high school science teacher. I
Mm.
did that for quite a few years, and now,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, now I'm working as a sustainability consultant.
Okay.
So I'm doing like zero weight. I work in the green building industry, so I help build eco-friendly buildings and make
Yeah.
our cities and parks more sustainable. I was just the best man at my brother's wedding this past weekend.
Oh, great.
S- Yeah, and then I guess if everyone's dying to know, I have not stepped foot on another yacht since.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, I know your big thing that season was just to get the word out about sustainability and kind of spread the word. Um, how are your chickens?
Yes, okay, that's what also I should dive into. I've my chickens, my girls are great. They're doing great. I've been really into urban homesteading. That's what
Yeah.
I've definitely leaned into deeply. I've got like a little mini farm out here in
Mm-hmm.
Ocean Beach, San Diego. I've got chickens, rabbits, like 50 plus species of plants. I'm always trading with my friends,
Yeah.
eggs and plants and all that good stuff. Baking
Mm-hmm.
sourdough, making kombucha.
Oh, I love that. Well, Shane, we have a lot in common. I at one point had 40 chickens and guinea hens and turkeys. I don't have any now, but it got a little out of hand. I'm sure you know about chicken math, where you intend to get like five or six and they multiply quickly because you need more.
Yeah, for sure. So you had the guinea hens. I've heard interesting stories about guineas.
Yes, they are not nearly as tame as chickens and very loud to the point where you can't really have like a phone conversation outside when they're screaming. But they are like a very good
Jeez.
watchdog. Like they will let you know when someone's coming up your driveway. But yeah, we actually
Okay, interesting.
I live in Charleston, South Carolina, and there's actually some wild guinea fowl that live downtown Charleston. They've been there for years and years. Somebody just like released them and the neighbors feed them and they roost on people's walls and you just see them like crossing the road. But it's just funny to see them like in a downtown city. Um,
Sure.
yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I can imagine. What about the turkeys? How was having
Oh, I
turkeys?
loved having turkeys. They're very friendly. We had one male and one female, and I didn't realize that like a male turkey, at least ours, he was always like puffed up and strutting around just like all the time. And he's just like so fluffy looking, you just want to hug him. But and
You
they
are
can
they
fly. They were
how
heritage
are
breed, so
they
they can
noisy?
fly. No, I mean
Oh,
he would
cool.
gobble a little bit, but like they're pretty quiet. And if you don't like put them up at night, they will fly like on top of your roof and roost there for the night. So,
Oh my gosh.
but I recommend. And they do lay eggs, not as many as chickens, but yeah, highly recommend. I could talk about chickens like all
Cool.
day.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm. Me too.
well, I love following you on Instagram. I was just looking at it and some things that you posted recently. What's the status of that wildlife bridge in California that you posted about a while back? Like over the
Okay, yeah.
freeway?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know exactly. I think last time I reported on it, it was in progress.
Okay.
Um, yeah. I don't know if they've opened it. I mean, their
Hmm.
projected date was to open. It's the Wallace Annenberg Wildlife Crossing.
Okay.
Um,
That's really cool. I wish we had those everywhere.
yeah, it's
So,
expected to be completed this year in
okay.
2025. So
Cool.
that means in 2030 you'll probably be ready. You know what I mean?
Well, you'll have
No,
to
but
report back on that. So I don't know if you know this, but Andy Cohen notoriously doesn't really know Below Deck very well. But over the years, I have heard him mention you several times on Watch What Happens Live, like years after you were on his show, years after you were on Below Deck season 8. So you obviously made a big impression with him when you were on or when you did the reunion. Did you know that he mentions you periodically?
Yeah, I've heard that from quite a few friends. I mean, spoiler alert, I don't really watch much Below Deck or
Yeah.
Andy Cohen.
Hmm.
And no, no, not because I mean, I just don't watch TV in general, to tell you the
Yeah.
truth. So I haven't firsthand seen it, but every time he does mention my name, a couple people DM me on Instagram or my dad who watches Below Deck religiously. He's like, "Yo, Andy Cohen just shouted you out." So I am privy to the fact that he brings up my name, and that's
Yeah.
I guess that's endearing. It's usually in like from what I recall, it's usually like a pretty nice way, more of just
Yeah.
like he's like a hottie yachty, or like he's like a sweetheart that kind of got bullied.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I feel like he
Yeah.
brings me up
I
in a
mean, he
decent
always
light, which
says
is nice.
sustainable Shane, like it's the whole thing. So I just love that he always remembers who you are. Do you keep in touch with anybody from your season?
Just through Instagram, just follows
Okay.
and likes, kind of Eddie, Elizabeth, um, Francesca.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you mentioned the couple listener questions that we had. At Unique Lady wants to know if you've come out with a line of straws yet.
I have not come out with a line of straws yet. I have not.
Okay. At K and Skip asks, what advice would you give to a new decky with no experience?
What advice would I give to a new decky with no experience? I would say, make sure that you're physically fit and also mentally fit because
Mm-hmm.
there's a very rigid hierarchy in yachting. So just get ready to like, I guess just like understand that you're going to come in at a certain place on the boat and you're just going to kind of stay there until you prove yourself otherwise, which is going to be somewhat of a lengthy process, which is
Yeah.
fine. But yeah, just get ready for that mental challenge and then also physical challenge because it is a lot of like it's a very laborious job.
Yeah. You need naps, apparently.
Yes.
Well, tell me like what environmentally friendly product or project are you excited about right now, either locally or on like a larger level?
Yeah, that's a good question. What environmentally friendly project am I interested in at the moment? Well, I feel like I'm going to bring up two examples.
Okay.
One example would have to be on the micro level in my community where we've been building a community garden from the
Hmm.
ground up. We're kind of like taking over like the grassy median in between the sidewalk and the street. And
Yeah.
yeah, we've just been kind of like whittling away at it for the past better part of a year now. And
Hmm.
it's amazing to watch the amount of growth that's happened both within the community of people coming out and showing up to garden and also
Hmm.
planting native species and watching the garden grow is really it's very enlightening.
Oh, I love that. We have a big push for that here in Charleston as well. I have a friend that owns a native plant, like small home nursery, and they're doing the same thing, like ripping out that turf grass in urban neighborhoods and planting native species. And it's incredible. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm just glad so many more people are getting into native species now.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So that's kind of on the micro level. Then on
Hmm.
the macro level, I've really been diving into the United States Green Building Council.
Okay.
It's a large nonprofit that's based in the US but operates all over the world.
Hmm.
And basically um they help build green buildings through policy, um, and just basically like consulting on building the most eco-friendly for design, for the planet, for
Hmm.
people, just be aesthetically looking, it's just the most beautiful built environment. So that's the United States Green Building Council. Shout out to them. It's a very bright future ahead and they've been around for quite a few years. So I'm
Oh,
excited
that's
to be a part
cool.
of it.
What percentage of like new buildings do you think are like green buildings or like LEED certified and that kind of thing?
Okay, nice. You're familiar with LEED
I
certification.
am.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. What percent? That's a good number, but I'm gonna say it's below 1%.
Oh, that's depressing. So,
Yeah,
wow.
it's not what you want, but it's
Okay.
okay. Well, I guess the benefit of that is, or I mean, the bright side of that is that studies are showing that there is quite a environment or quite a economic benefit to building green, not
Mm-hmm.
just for like saving energy, but
Mm-hmm.
also for these buildings. Like, let's say you build a residential building, your tenants are more likely to be happy in the green building. So
Yeah.
therefore, you have lower turnover, which
Mm-hmm.
saves the landlord money, and also your tenants are willing to pay higher rents because the building is more aesthetic, it's healthier to live in, it's more eco-friendly.
Mm-hmm.
So then you also as a landlord you have a higher rental from your tenants, and then lastly, they've just shown that the real estate holds its value better over time.
Wow, that's great. I mean, I'm quite a bit older than you, but I'm just so glad that being pro-environment and being a tree hugger and all of that is so much more the norm now than it was like when I was a kid, like in the 80s. So
Hmm.
that's just really promising. I'm just so glad that you're out there like spreading the word about all of these things. So is there anything else you want to like let our listeners know, like where to find you on Instagram or anything like that?
Yeah, check me out on Instagram. I'm still going at it, sustainable.shane.
Mm-hmm.
Posting lots of good, friendly, fun content about how to live a more eco-friendly lifestyle. You can check out what I'm up to with my friends, family, and of course my critters. So
Yeah.
check me out there. And then, usually you can find me at some different conference around the US or maybe even around the world where I'm giving some little speech or blurb about something about the environment. So you can check me out on there or check me out online. I'm on sustainableshane.com too. So,
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the podcast. And oh, before we go, could you do a little like liner for the podcast? Just say like, "Hey, this is Sustainable Shane from season 8. You're listening to Above Deck" or something like that.
yep. Hey, what's up? This is Sustainable Shane from Below Deck Season 8. You're listening to Above Deck Podcast.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, awesome. Well, keep up the good work and stay in touch. Let me know if you're ever in Charleston.
Yeah, I've heard good things about the city there.
Yeah, it's lovely. Just don't come in the summer. It's miserable. It's too hot.
Too hot. Okay, yeah, Charleston, it's cute. I've heard they've got a cute, like, kind of historic downtown.
Oh yeah, yeah. Revolutionary War, Civil War, like very, very old and quaint and kind of European. So yeah, it's cool.
Nice.
So all
All right. Well, it's
right, well
good
have a
chatting
good
with you.
night. Okay, bye. It's time for Hot Tub Convo, where we discuss what's happening with our favorite Below Deck cast members.
BravoCon tickets were announced last week. Whoop.
Woohoo!
So 3-day tickets go on sale Friday, June 6th at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Look, we love you guys, so we're telling you the correct times. We could totally be telling you the wrong times, so that way we could ensure we get tickets,
Oh
but we're
yeah, we
being
could say
nice. So
1 p.m. and they'll all be sold out.
that's right. You can also add Bravopalooza tickets at this time. On Friday, July 11th, BravoCon Live with Andy Cohen tickets go on sale. There will be 5 shows filmed that weekend. And I'm so excited. We have a date now. So we can start practicing like our finger stretches and stuff for like refresh, refresh, refresh.
Yes, and
Um,
now it's all on me this year
it
because
is.
you're not able to get tickets. So I have blocked my day. I think I had an gynecologist appointment that day. I'm gonna move it because I must be at the computer, phone, iPad. Like I'm
Yeah,
gonna be ready. We're gonna get those tickets.
all the refreshes.
Yeah.
Um, so it's hard to believe that this is our third BravoCon.
Hmm.
I'm so geeked. And do you think we're going to do a BravoCon live? Do you want to try and do one of those?
I would love to. I really loved the first year when we did it. It was
Yeah,
super
that
fun.
was
But
fun.
then 2023, the price went up significantly, and we were like,
Yeah,
well, we've done it.
yeah, yeah.
So
We'll have
we'll
to
just,
see
yeah, we'll see
see
what the
what's out
prices
there.
are.
A side note, Sarah,
Hmm.
New Kids on the Block residency is still happening in Vegas while we're there, the 14th and the 15th, so it's something to consider.
Okay. Gosh, I wish they were going to be at the Sphere. I would totally go there, but.
See, that's where I would not go see them.
Okay, gotcha. I would love to attend the Bravos. I thought that was a
Yes,
really fun show last year. Depending on the price, that looked so fun.
it looked fun. Yeah,
Also, Bravo, if you were listening, we would really love media passes so we can be in the media room, like asking the hard-hitting questions to our
yeah,
below deck pals. So,
yes,
there aren't really any other below deck, podcasts that go to BravoCon. So, I
that's
think
right.
I think they need us in there.
That's right.
Please see our email request that I sent last week.
So you had asked me earlier if I had any shows that I was going to catch up on
Hmm.
pre-BravoCon. So I think I'm going to try and watch a couple episodes of Love Hotel.
Yes, it's
It
so
does
good,
have my
Kelly.
favorite BravoCon or my favorite Bravo celebrities in it, especially,
Yeah,
I
it's
love,
really good.
yeah,
Really good. It's like a
Shannon's one of my
treat.
favorite. I'm so excited. So I'm going to try and do that. Um, I'm going to try and watch a couple episodes of Summer House as long
Hmm.
as I don't get the ick.
Nice.
I saw the clips last week. And of course, I'll watch some Shaws because I am so excited that they are back. Reza, I love you.
Oh my gosh, I would love for you to get a picture with him
A
this year.
third, it'd be great to have like another one.
I know. So my plan is I'm gonna watch at least one episode of Shaws of Sunset. There's a lot of seasons, right?
I think there's like 9 seasons.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna at least watch one or two so I kind of know who people are. And then I would like to watch at least one episode of the current season of Atlanta. I have not watched Real Housewives of Atlanta since Nene left the first time. Um, and I
So it's
just
been a
need to
while.
get
It's been
I
a
need to
while.
get back to it. And
Yeah.
then I'd also wouldn't mind watching The Valley. I was trying to do a full watch of Vanderpump Rules, and I think I got to
Yeah.
the second season. It's just that's a lot. I have a lot of episodes ahead of me. I was trying to do that before The Valley, but maybe I can just jump into The Valley.
I feel
So,
like I feel like enough of that show has been made the news that you would be
yeah.
fine to just jump right in.
Yeah, plus I watched the Scandival season and the next season, so I kind of know the like recent stuff. But I just want to know who people are. That was my big takeaway from the first BravoCon is like I just want to know who people are, and
Right.
like that's somebody, because as you
Yeah.
always say, head on a swivel, head
Head on a
on a
swivel. You just
swivel.
never know.
Yeah.
Everybody's everywhere.
Hmm.
Sarah, we heard from the last set of charter guests on Down Under. So not the ones that just got on the boat, but the ones that were the 1 day charter.
Yeah.
And as we suspected, it was not a 1 day charter. It was 3 days, and they just didn't show the other days. And it looks like we missed like a fun Barbie theme night.
Oh, love it.
Love that. Bravo. You don't have to pretend a charter is just 1 day. Just show us the highlights. That's all. That's
Yeah,
it.
I don't think it matters that maybe it's not two episodes or whatever. Like, just you don't have to pretend it's only one day.
Or, they could do like in case you missed it on socials or something, or, you did miss it. Here's what it was.
Yeah, something. Thank goodness when the charter guests are in Instagram and they share stuff. So,
I love it.
okay, so we got a great DM last week. It said,
Yeah.
"Hey there, this is Shelly. I promise I am real."
Wait,
So,
what?
remember a few episodes again, Jason was calling the yacht recruitment agency and was like,
Yes.
Kelly, hey, I need a
That's right.
bosun and a deckhand or whatever. Um and we thought this is not a real person. Shelly Seychelles, like we thought
Yeah,
for sure
yeah.
this was not real.
Convenient.
So Shelly is real. She is
Yay.
head of recruitment for a yacht crew agency, and she's known Jason for like 18 years. They used to work
Oh,
together.
wow.
So Norma and Shelly, real people, turns out.
Yay. Well, that's exciting. It's nice to meet you, Shelly.
Yeah.
It's time for our segment, Join Me on the Wheelhouse, where we decide who needs to see Captain Jason for a stern talking to. Sarah, who do you call to the wheelhouse and why?
I'm going to call the Seychelles Swell and the stabilizers on Katina because that looked miserable. When you're seasick,
Yeah,
you just can't have a good time.
they all looked so green. I felt so bad for them.
You're like, I really want to eat this food. We just can't. Well, that's it for this week's episode of Above Deck. Thank you to our team at Hurrdat Media, especially our producer, Joss. Thanks to all of you for listening. Please subscribe on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to tell a friend and please rate and review us. 5 stars only.
Please follow us on Instagram at Above Deck Pod, and you can email us at abovedeckpod@gmail.com. And you can watch our episodes on the Hurrdat Entertainment YouTube channel. And remember, there are only 180 days until BravoCon. That's 6 months.
Yeah, I'm
Is that
excited.
right? Yeah.
Sure.
Until next time, I'm Kelly Busby.
And I'm Sarah Goldman. We'll see you next week. Oh, should we tell people that we believe we're going to be interviewing Tzarina here next week. So if you have questions for Tzarina, I mean, we'll ask on Instagram, but send us an
Yeah.
email, send us a DM. But Tzarina is supposed to
Yeah.
be on the podcast if everything like works out okay. So
I hope so.
send those
Yeah, that'd be
questions
great.
in.